morning sun peeking through the sky. It's time to wake up and just say hi. Coffee's brewing, birds are singing. Northern Lights Radio to get your morning ringing. Weather's changing, temperatures are rising, but don't you fret, just keep shining. From local news to global events, we cover it all right to the wacky end. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. Your KCHW FM morning crew starts now. Please don't boo. We're waiting, la 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 la, still waiting. La 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 la, still waiting. We're waiting.
Having fun with the dubstep.
Still waiting.
That's awesome. Good morning. Welcome to your KCHW morning show. We are still waiting for me to start the show. Good morning, Scott. How you doing?
Good. That was the first time you heard it, though, so you didn't know it was going to end, and it's kind of a cold end there.
That was what are we still waiting for?
Us to start, and we did. So, yay!
I was too busy grooving to pay attention to what we were waiting for, Scott.
So, obviously, I'm not that musically talented, so I was playing with AI.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool, is it not?
That's fun. I like that. And I heard the other one you sent me yesterday for one of the outs.
Should we play that because it's really cute about all the DJs here not making any money?
I think we should.
Okay. I'll play the end of show.
Okay.
Feel good already,
right?
Coffee's brewed, the birds have sung. It's time to get off your butt and get something done. We're sorry to go, but tomorrow's probably another show. We think you'll agree, we should all keep working for free. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. It's your KCHW FM morning crew.
I think this could be played on every radio station, really.
I think so. I think it's a banger.
It's pretty hip.
I think it's gonna be a top 1,000 hit for sure.
It's amazing when you go into these AI music sites and you tell them what you want. And it takes a few tries, but I got this.
Sorry to go, but tomorrow's probably another show. We think you'll agree, we should all keep working for free. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. It's your KCHW FM morning crew.
That one's pretty, it's pretty, isn't it?
I like it. I think it's going to be huge on the outer regions of like the central sort of Europe, the Slavian areas, you know?
Oh, they'll really like that.
Yeah. Maybe Germany. You know, you never know what the Germans are going to like.
So when we go to break, we always play music too. And the reason why I was working on this stuff, and I want to do some more and short and maybe shorten them up a little bit there. When you're doing it for free, you don't get a lot of the bells and whistles where I could say I want it this amount of time.
Right.
But it was, and then like one time I missed the apostrophe in "were," you know, for "we are."
Yeah.
And that caused lots of problems. It had trouble with the call letters and the FM after it. So on some sites I had to separate the K, C, H, W. On one site I had to separate the K and C, but I had to leave the H and W. So I mean, I literally spent probably like 6 hours doing these. And then I want to make sure I'm playing the right one.
Did they say Kachu?
They don't,
Okay.
but they really messed up the call letters. So I went into this one and I thought, I want to do something punchy when we go to break. And so I put in dubstep and I put upbeat and then I put rock at the end to see what it would do. And in this next one, listen for it.
Okay.
It kind of Like I said, we have a gentle one two to play. We'll
Oh,
do that when we come back from today's break. And I
okay.
figured it was a good one for you and the girls on Wednesdays.
Yeah, yeah.
But I said, so I wanted to have this punchy thing to go in, and I said dubstep and then rock, and listen to the Spanish metal guitar rock riff in the middle of this one. Hang on to your chair.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm hanging on.
Coffee's brewing, birds are singing, Northern Lights radio to get your morning ringing. Stay right here because we'll be right back. New sponsors, and then we're back to Yak.
I dig this one.
Stay right here because we'll be right back. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. It's your KCHW FM morning crew.
Here it comes.
Okay, wait.
This is where I got out the guitar.
It's got that 80s synth rock sound.
Stay right here because we'll be right back. Stay right here because we'll be right back.
Yak.
New sponsors, and then we're back to yeah. Coffee's brewing.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying I was drinking and smoking in the studio on Tuesday night, but I might have been.
I love it. I love it. That
All
was
right.
great. Wow,
Fun.
you have
That
been
was
busy.
fun stuff. Yeah.
Wow. See what happens when we leave you alone, Scott.
I know.
Oh,
Chuck
man.
takes off for a day and I go crazy.
Man.
All right. Should we roll into some weather and our show for today? The first
Yeah.
thing we want to do before we roll into weather and sports is let people know we have some guests in the 8 o'clock
Yes.
hour. It's all about Earth Day with Gina Greenwood and Karen Freeman.
Yes, it is. And they are
All
doing
right.
the Earth Day celebration, I believe, at the Lutheran Church this weekend. That's going to be, I'm trying to pull that up here. There's too many calendars now. We're in the awkward transition because there's the new Chewila events calendar. We've got a whole bunch of different organizations signed on, but not everybody is using it yet. So we're trying to get everyone to start using the new, community calendar. And there's still, like 4 or 5 different little places. So we're in the awkward transition phase in a new relationship, Scott.
Yeah, it's
With-
rough
with
for
the-
us because when we get all of our stuff ready to go in the morning, we have 3 tabs of
Yeah.
different calendars. We've got the Chambers, which is a good
Mhm,
calendar. We've got the new one from the Creative District, and then we've got ours. So it gets a little crazy.
Well,
and
actually,
trying not to
it's
double up.
not from the Creative District. The Creative District and the Chamber worked on it together. So
Okay,
this
okay.
is just the new community calendar, and the Chamber hasn't switched over to
Truly.
the new one yet on their website. So it's still, still trying to make that transition. So if you're out there, Chewila Events is the new community calendar, and we're all going to start trying to switch over to that one as soon as we can.
All right.
To make my life
And-
easier, Scott.
Sure. And everybody's going to link to it on their website, so it'll be all cool.
Yep.
So here's our weather today. It's brought to you by 49 Degrees Mountain Resort, and weather for today starting off with 71 degrees and plenty of sunshine today, down to 43 tonight. Not a bad weekend at all as we head there. Friday, 76 and 44 sunny, partly cloudy through Monday, but the temperatures are good. Saturday, 76, Sunday, 73 with like a 10% chance of rain. Probably won't happen. Monday right now, 69 under partly cloudy skies. Great weather. And Chuck, with what's on up at the ski hill?
Yeah, so up in the mountain, that snow base is rapidly declining. We have 28 inches left at the base of the mountain. Let's see, 36 degrees currently with no precipitation and mostly sunny skies. All the way up at the summit, they're down to 85 inches of snow left. Still enough for skiing, though, with a temperature of 27 degrees, good visibility, and mostly sunny skies. The surface conditions are listed as groomed with spring snow, but they are on their Friday through Monday schedule for the end of the year. But they'll be open through the end of April and they're keeping their fingers crossed that they'll be able to stay open through the first week of May. So they're winding up for the season, but they are not done yet. But to find out more information about when they're going to be open, events happening at 49 Degrees North, or any other information, you can visit ski49n.com.
All right, here comes Chuck to decipher what the kids are eating for breakfast and lunch.
Right, to decipher.
So once again, we're going to make a request. Please stop putting the graphics on the calendar. Us old guys at the radio station can't read it.
They're not too bad this month. There's been a couple months where they'll put dark letters over essentially a black background, and it makes it a little difficult to read sometimes. But right now we're doing okay. All right. So for breakfast today we have Thursdays. French toast sticks with syrup, fruit or juice, or a fruit breakfast parfait with granola, or a variety of cereal with a cheese stick or yogurt, or bread or muffin. And then for which I believe they have talked to them about it. I actually talked with the superintendent about it, and it's more of like a continental style breakfast where you don't pick one of those. You can that's the variety that's out on the table.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like
I'm going to go back to school.
Right?
I want the breakfast buffet.
We never had a continental breakfast in school. All right. Wow. So then on the lunch menu today we have Crispitos with rice and fruit and veggie.
All right.
Nice.
Very cool. All right. Yeah. So you missed your show with the ladies yesterday.
We didn't get Sharon.
Can I ask on the radio how he's doing?
My dog? Yeah. So my dog, I missed yesterday because my dog was out for surgery. I actually got a couple messages yesterday saying, "Hey, is everything okay? There was no morning show this morning. What's going on?" Aww. And so my dog had surgery yesterday. I had to be in Spokane with him. He's had an ear infection for years that I can't even tell you how many vet visits we've had. They could never figure out how to get it to go away. Some medications would maybe temporarily make it feel better for a few days, but it'd flare right back up again. Found out he had a staph infection and a cyst behind his middle ear, where a traditional vet couldn't see it. We had to go see a specialist, a dermatologist. Which huge thank you to Dermatology for Animals in Spokane for helping with this. They're really great there, but they had to go in and do surgery, and they actually had to go in behind his eardrum, which had ruptured from the infection, and go in and surgically remove all the. I don't need to get into too many gory details, but basically remove the infection and clean it all out, and hopefully everything went well. He's doing great, and hopefully he'll recover and still have some hearing left. He'll probably have some damage to his hearing, but probably regain some. He doesn't listen anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
He doesn't listen anyway. That's cute.
Well, he's always had the one good ear, and that's never done any good for him. So,
All right, today we got the food bank open 10 to 2. Friends of the library are having a book sale at the library 10 to 2.
Oh, that's today. Ooh.
Yeah. And then our friend Craig from the Friday morning show out doing karaoke tonight. Let's see. Chamber of Commerce meeting Friday morning, 7 o'clock at the Chamber. Then we've got that World Trails Film Festival. All right. This is taking place at Courtside Brewery. Doors open at 5:30, and it's supporting the Chewila Valley Land Trust. So that's really cool.
It is. Yep.
Yeah. Saturday, we've got a spring trail work party up at the Gold Hill Trail, 9 o'clock. Bring your gloves. If you got some cool, easy tools, maybe some rakes and stuff, bring that too.
Yeah, don't they say on there what to like your gloves, broom, maybe rakes? I don't know if they need a broom in the woods, but
they didn't say to bring any tools this time. It just said bring gloves.
Okay.
So. All right, and then let's see, Colville Valley Animal Sanctuary drive-through vaccination clinic going on 9:30 to 1 o'clock, and then an Earth Day fair. Chuck, you want to talk about that? And that's what our guests are going to be talking about today when they come in. So just kind of a brief thing in case somebody can't be listening to the interview in the second hour.
Yeah, so again, that's Saturday. That's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That is the Earth Day fair at the St. Paul's Lutheran Church at 110 North 2nd Street in Chewila. And I do believe there's not a lot of information on the poster itself, but I do believe there's going to be maybe some light refreshments, some other things happening there. We're going to learn a lot. There's going to be yeah, free food, vendors, games for kids. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it. So, and I know,
All
I
right.
do believe, I know Sally McQuain is going to be playing in her band. I believe Sally and Craig are going to be playing. So there's going to be music.
Nice.
So that's going to be
That's
nice.
a busy weekend. He's out
It
doing
is.
karaoke tonight. They're playing for
Mm-hmm.
that, and then the whole McQuain family blues jam on Sunday.
Yeah. Those guys are always busy. Yeah.
Good
And then,
place.
yeah. So, and I'm really looking forward to have this first time since I've been here. I know you've had her on probably, oh, pardon me, probably many times. Gina Greenwood is going to be with us.
Yes, been
And
a long time since
yeah.
she's been on the show.
Gina Greenwood and Karen Freeman. Pardon me. Hold on.
All right. I'll go ahead and roll out some from our site. We've got
Sorry about
one
that.
from my sister, who is a volunteer at the Deer Park Eagles, wanting people to know that their outdoor market and craft fair summer series will be starting up May 17th, and there are vendor spots available. They start at $25. 509-951-6763. 509-951-6763. And their first date there is the 17th. That takes place at on 12th West South Avenue in Deer Park throughout the summer there.
Very nice.
Let's see. I've got another. I'm trying to get it open. Our calendar is not that friendly. So,
No.
Kettle Falls also having Town and Country Days coming up June 6th and 7th. They are looking for vendors for their 2 days of entertainment, food, and dancing.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. All right. Let's see. You can call Nicole at 509-868-6575. 868-6575. If you are a crafter, these are some great opportunities to get out there and sell your stuff.
They are there. And I know the Chewelah Summerfest is also looking for vendors. You can visit the Chewelah Chamber of Commerce to ask about that and get those applications for the Chewelah Summerfest happening July 12th. Also wanted to add Saturday. So we had the Chewelah Creative District annual meeting. There's going to be a creative summit, some activities, food, and the annual board election. That was supposed to have been last Saturday, but the entire Creative District board came down with the flu.
And you got it.
And I got it. And I got it. I'm still clearing out. The doctor says I'm past the contagious stage. I'm just like that awkward, at the end of the flu, getting everything out of my system. But
Sure.
it hasn't been a fun. It was a rough one. I think I started getting sick on Friday, and then over the weekend I went to bed Friday night. I didn't get out of bed till Monday morning.
Ooh. Wow. Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about it. Just going to make yourself cough.
Right? It was a bad one.
All right, let's do a few news headlines. We don't have much time today. I don't. Should we skip news headlines and go to the fun stuff? Do a few bits and breaks.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think.
Well,
Let's do that. How about some cartoon music?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. If Chuck is done coughing, are you ready to start with this morning's first joke?
I am, and you know what? It's not even the cold. I ate a carrot before I went on the air, and I have a little piece along with that. I have a little piece of carrot stuck in my throat that's been bothering me. So, apologies
All right,
for
you're
my
supposed to
coughing.
Chew those.
I
Chew
know,
those. Do not
I know.
swallow the carrot whole. All right. Sorry.
But it's one of
Go
those
ahead.
things with the combination of the two. It's making me cough here. All right, a woman was stopped by a cop from Chewelah, or no, this wasn't Chewelah. Let me look at the police report here. Oh, that came from Valley. So a woman was stopped by a cop from Valley. He has to see her driver's license. Told her it says here corrective lenses. Why are you wearing clear glasses? Hold on.
He ain't gonna make it through the joke.
Sorry.
Tap out.
She said I've got contacts, but the officer exploded. I don't care, you're supposed to be wearing your glasses. But I'm gonna drink some water while you do your next joke.
All right, I'm gonna do the next joke. I promise mine will be better. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Chuck, you gave me. No, I'm kidding.
No.
That was all right. A tourist asks a scuba instructor, "Why do scuba divers always fall backwards off the boat into the water?" And the scuba diver instructor snapped back, "If they fell forward, they'd be in the boat."
Wow. So this next one, I'm really looking forward to this one, Scott. These are
You
things.
like this?
Yeah, I love this one. These are things you didn't know about swear words. Do
Okay.
you want to go round robin on these? Go back and forth.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So this is according to the book "A Brief History of Swearing" by Melissa Moore. The average person swears quite a bit. About 0.7% of the words a person uses in the course of a day are, in fact, swear words, which may not sound that significant, except we use first-person plural pronouns, words like we, our, and ourselves, at about the same rate. So the typical range goes from 0 to about 3% for some of us, Scott.
Wow. Are you a big swearer, Chuck?
Not as much as I used to be. Since I started this job, I don't swear near as much as I used to.
Ken joined one of our listeners joined me and Val. He loves the radio show. He tunes in on Thursdays quite often too, and he joined us on the show yesterday because Val is going to be missing next week, and I didn't want to skip a show, so he's gonna fill in there. But that was his big concern. What if I say something bad? But he did.
Really good. That's probably really good that he didn't curse on the air.
Yeah. You know, I'm always prepared. So like right now when we're doing the show, even in my end, I'm logged into your on-air or into our streaming controller that goes to the tower. So because sometimes those windows close, and if we ever had somebody do that and we had to reach fast, we always try to have a window open where we can stop the radio. All right.
Just in case Chuck drops an F-bomb again.
Yeah, we've only had it happen once, and it wasn't Chuck.
Okay.
All right. Kids often learn a 4-letter word before they learn the alphabet. Timothy Jay, a psychology professor at Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts, charted a rise in the use of swear words by children, even toddlers. By the age of 2, most children know at least one, and it really kicks off around the ages of 3 and 4, as your preschool teacher can tell you.
Oh, I'm sure. So when my twins were little, probably about that age, maybe a little younger, they started using those words, and we had to have the talk with them, and we explained to them like, okay, there are words that they're okay for adults, but not for kids. And one of my kids, in their infinite wisdom, at 4 years old, said, "Oh, like beer?" And we said, "Yes, like beer, exactly like beer." So throughout our kids' entire childhoods, swear words were known as beer words.
Oh, because you only say them when you're drinking beer.
Because it's okay for adults, but not for kids. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Those double standards.
I know, right?
Right.
So people don't use cuss words just because they have lazy minds. Author Melissa Moore says expletives, and I've heard this before, are the best words you can use to insult people because they're much better than other words at getting people's emotions. Swear words are also the best words to use if you hit your finger with a hammer because they are cathartic. They help people deal with their emotions as well as pain. We all know that one.
And they say it actually works. So when you hit that thumb with the hammer, go ahead, let one out.
I know it helps me. Yeah. Let's see. Studies have shown that they do help people bond, like blue-collar workers who use taboo terms to build in-group solidarity against management types. And I've seen reports, too. I kind of thought that's one where that was going, but it didn't head there. It turns out that more intelligent people tend to swear more.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I almost swore.
Right? No, there's been a lot of studies to show that there is a direct correlation between the amount of swear words you use. Not always, because I know some pretty dumb people that drop a lot of swear bombs, but there's a correlation between swearing and intelligence, apparently.
So before the show, me and Chuck were talking about our weight.
Yes.
And
yes.
Thinking about that, I found this for the show, Chuck. It's the competitive eating calendar for this summer, 2025.
Ooh.
Right.
Are you going to join any of these?
No.
I can't do any of that. I'll eat half a hot dog and have to take a break.
The only thing I could possibly win would be like if they had an eating contest to see how many Doritos and glasses of milk you could eat in one setting. I could get in on that one.
Do you dunk the Doritos in your milk?
No, but you know how the Doritos are all crushed at the end of the bag? That goes into a bowl, and then I add milk to it and eat it like cereal. Because I'm the man. All right, Palooza World Texas Sausage Eating Championship coming up on May 3rd. All right, sausage Eating Championship. That's a hard one to say.
This next one I might actually be able to be good at here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was close.
Right,
I
right.
could do that. Yeah.
The nacho eating competition in Breckenridge Brewery, Fort Collins, Colorado on May 5th. Ooh.
You ever been to Fort Collins, Colorado?
I have, yeah. Yeah, it's
So when that silage plant outside of town starts wafting in, Fort Collins is one of the most beautiful, lush cities you could ever see. It's been very well planned. They passed a law that you can't have a sign above 10 feet. So it's impossible to find a business because there's no signage in the air. Even the Walmart sign is hidden behind bushes. You drive right by it and you're like, oh, I got to do a Yui. Drove right by the Walmart. But it is a very beautiful, smelly town.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember being there, and there's like a uniform there. Apparently, you have to have like the slick back hair and the sort of expensive felty trench coat type things with a business suit. It's
and all the girls are driving brand new lifted trucks.
Yeah, it was weird. You walk around and everybody was dressed the same, and everybody looked like they had lots of money. It was
Fort Collins, Colorado.
It was interesting. Yeah.
Chuck, this next one, this is where you need to go. Knoxville, Tennessee, the 2025 Ultimate Bologna Showdown.
Ooh.
Oh, that's the food. I was thinking it was telling jokes.
Bologna. Yeah, I lived in Knoxville for a few years, and I don't ever remember that one. I would have gone if I'd have known.
Bologna Showdown. All right.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
Of course, this is the probably the biggest one. This is the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest Qualifier. This is in Lake Compounce, Bristol, Connecticut, May 10th. Then the next one there kind of goes along with it. That's the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest Qualifier in Cleveland, Ohio, on June 5th.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of them in the list.
So coming up on June 6th, it's going to be a bad day because all across America, no police will be working. And here's why.
Oh.
The Salvation Army National Donut Day World Donut Eating Championship in Washington, D.C., June 6th. That's why there'll be no cops on duty.
Wow.
And I don't live in Trinidad anymore, so I can't get a ticket. Thank you.
Yeah, now you're gonna get me in trouble, Scott. Thanks.
Chuck gave me that joke.
Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's just a joke. I mean, I like donuts too.
It's too bad this list has a bunch of Nathans in there, but Nathans is the ones that do the contest.
Yeah.
So there's several of those throughout the year. Let's see. We got a Hotlanta Extreme Eating Challenge. Imagine they're doing the ghost peppers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. So the Nathan's one, there was, Kobayashi, the famous competitive eater. I always have his theme song. He has a theme song. And for some reason, it's Kobayashi, Kobayashi. I don't know the rest of the words, but that's what it is. So, yeah, it's pretty much just his last name over and over again. Yeah, pretty famous guy. All right, so yeah, then a couple other of Nathan's ones, and then the actual hot dog eating contest, the Nathan's Famous 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest, of course, every year, Coney Island, New York City, July 4th.
You know what I haven't heard in years is that gal that was doing really well in the competitions. They called her the Widowmaker.
Yeah.
Was like her name. I haven't heard of her doing competitive eating in a few years now, but she was a skinny little thing and she was just trouncing the guys.
I don't remember who. I think it may have been her, but the very famous Texas Roadhouse where they have that great big massive steak, you have like 25 minutes to eat it or whatever. It's the size of, a small cow. We were there eating. We were in the upper balcony looking down, and I believe it was her. It was this very teeny tiny little Asian woman who sat down, and everyone's like, what in the world? And she consumed that entire, I think, 72-ounce steak with all the side dishes, all the everything in like 12 minutes. And we watched it live in person, and everyone was absolutely floored. And I think that was her. It was her or someone like her. It was a very, very petite, very small Asian woman. And she just inhaled that thing. It was kind of disturbing, actually. What was that?
All right. Here's a fun one, Chuck. As we head toward the top of the hour, we're going to go to break a few minutes early and thank the sponsors so that we can enjoy our guests, which should be coming in just a few minutes. And that's Karin Freeman and Gina Greenwood to talk about the Earth Day celebration at the Lutheran Church this weekend. What are the odds? This next section was called. We'll go round robin again, Chuck. What are the odds you will undergo an IRS audit this year?
Oh, do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you?
Sure.
Okay.
I wanted you to guess, but if you read it, then you can.
I read it. I read it. No, go
Pretty
ahead.
low.
Go ahead and tell us. Go ahead and tell us.
200 to 1.
200
That's
to
pretty
1.
low. That's a good, out of 200 people, you could be selected pretty easily.
Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. I figured it would be like 1,000,000 to 1.
I don't think this list, though, includes the 40,000 IRS agents that just lost their jobs.
Right? Oh,
Sorry. So probably just jumped a little.
we always get that we use one of those services that does the audit protection. You know, they say you're unlikely to be audited, but I don't know. People like me, why would the IRS bother with somebody like me that doesn't make any money? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, because like Donald Trump yesterday rejecting the idea wholeheartedly, says it's not going to happen. I am not raising taxes on millionaires.
Nope. I was gonna say the IRS agents have got to have something to do with their time because they're not auditing the rich people.
All right, you're up. I'm sorry.
The odds a person will be incarcerated, and this one's kind of scary too. 1 in 165.
Spent lots of years in property management, and the one thing that amazed me the most. Now, I was managing a budget property, so could have had something to do with it. But the amount of people that came through with felonies.
Oh yeah.
Through the background checks. So that one does not surprise me at all.
I worked for a property management company in a very poor neighborhood in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we had quite a few people, like, they just didn't pay their rent. And you're trying to, figure out, okay, what's going on? You knock on the door. Nobody's there. And you find out, oh, it's because they're in jail. Yeah. And they just, yeah. Poor guys.
Yep, you'd be surprised. Yeah. All right. This one's funny. We're going to have more like lottery odds now. Chances your child will be a genius? 1 in 100,000.
Oh, man.
And everybody thinks their kid's the smartest.
I think mine are pretty smart. I don't know if they're geniuses, but they're pretty smart. Yeah.
All right.
A high school player will play these are the odds a high school player will play in a future Super Bowl. And to me, this is pretty darn good odds. I think this is way better than I thought. It's 1 in 4,300.
Wow.
That doesn't seem right. 4,300? That's like Washington State alone. That means that like probably 5 or 10 people in Washington State that graduate this year are going to end up playing in the Super Bowl. That seems weird.
Eventually in their lifetime.
Okay. That seems weird though. All right, go ahead.
Earth will be devastated by a meteor in your lifetime. The odds? 1 in a million. Literally.
Well, with everything going on in the world, some days I feel like I'm on Team Meteor.
Everybody hates us. Hit us with a meteor.
Just end the suffering. Get it over with quick. Yeah. The chances a person will be struck by lightning. This is 1 in 15,300, and that is your lifetime odds.
Wow.
And I've heard a weird statistic. If you get hit by lightning once, statistically, you are more likely to be hit by lightning again. What is that? Do you attract lightning?
Yeah, magnetic personalities.
Yeah, that must be it.
Or maybe you should stop wearing your lead underpants.
Oh,
all right,
man. Stop walking around with the telephone pole in your hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Professional golfer. Chances a professional golfer will get a hole-in-one. 1 in 3,000.
Wow. Yeah, my odds of getting a hole-in-one are probably closer to the meteorite levels. Yep.
A fan will get hit by a baseball at a major league game. 1 in 1,200.
Ooh, that's not bad.
That's getting hit. That's not catching it. That's getting cracked.
Okay. That sucks. Okay, that sucks then. All right.
All right, so you did good, but next time you're going to catch that baseball, you're going to try and catch it. Don't use your face.
And this one has happened to me before. The chances you will be dealt a royal flush in the opening poker hand, 1 in 649,740.
You've gotten one?
I've gotten a royal flush in the opening hand of poker before. I remember it because it was like, whoa, did that really just happen? I think it happened one time, but it was like playing with the kids. There was no money involved, unfortunately, but it was still fun.
That's like getting to use the golden encrusted toilet at Mar-a-Lago.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Actually, no,
Royal flush.
you just have to pay $649,740 to be able to use that toilet. Yeah.
Oh,
There's a fee. Yeah. Let's see. The chances a state lottery player will hit the jackpot is 1 in 292,201,338.
wow. You were
Wow.
good at that. See if I can do one. Chances you'll be killed in an airplane crash. 1 in 816,400. No, 100 or 816, 545, 929. I didn't do it right.
That's okay.
It's a long number.
There was
816,000, 545,929.
there was a lot
That's
of,
huge.
there was a lot of
Almost
pressure
a
on you.
billion. 1 in a billion that you'll die in an airplane. It seems like that would be a lot lower.
Right? I don't know. I mean, I think those are pretty good odds. I mean, you're much more likely to win the lottery than
They are good odds, but I don't think your odds are that good. We got Boeing airliners dropping out of the sky.
right. Yeah, I would like to see the numbers from 2025. I feel like the curve has gone off on that one a little bit.
We're gonna do takeoff right now. Yep, that's as good as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are at 8 o'clock straight up, and we're going to go to break. We come back. Karin Freeman and Gina Greenwood going to be on the show talking about Earth Day. Excited for that. Chuck, I have another one of those really hardcore go to break intros I made. Do you want me to play?
I would love to hear it. So this is going to take us out on a break. We do have the guests out in the other room, so.
So, all right. So crank it up so they can hear it too, and they'll be like really scared to come in the studio. Okay. All right.
I just put us on speaker right now, so we're going on speaker.
All right.
Okay.
Stick around. We'll be back with Gina Greenwood and Karin Freeman. This is your morning show on Northern Lights Public Radio, KCHW 102.7. Here it comes.
Coffee's brewing, birds are singing, Northern Lights Radio to get your morning ringing. Stay right here because we'll be right back. New sponsors and then we're back to Yak. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. It's your KCHW FM morning crew.
Feel like getting up and dancing.
This is where I can play the funny sound effects.
You're mocking
Got your
me, aren't you?
favorite jokes and stories too. It's your KCHW FM morning crew.
I love it.
Wrong one.
Get down! Ow! The Public News Service Joe Newscast, April the 24th, 2025. I'm Mike Clifford. President Donald Trump slammed Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky Wednesday for his comments that Ukraine wouldn't recognize Russian control of Crimea. Trump called the remarks very harmful to the peace negotiations with Russia. That from CNN. They report in a social media post Trump wrote, it's inflammatory statements like Zelensky's that makes it so difficult to settle this war. He has nothing to boast about. The situation for Ukraine is dire. He can have peace or he can fight for another 3 years before losing the whole country. Next to Tennessee, where educators are expressing concerns over Donald Trump's push to eliminate the U.S. Department of Education and return control to the states. We get more from our Danielle Smith.
Tennessee Department of Education serves over 1 million students in 147 districts. Tanya Coates with the Tennessee Education Association says states already oversee most aspects of public education. She says the plan risks key student services and could lead to defunding and privatizing public schools, resulting in larger class sizes, less individual attention, and fewer resources for students with disabilities.
Since there's only less than 30 days for most schools in the state of Tennessee to be in service, that it would cut our after-school programs come the next year, and particularly our summer programs that augment this in-school learning and skill building.
She says educators could lose access to programs that help low-income students and those with disabilities go to college. Governor Bill Lee supports keeping education control in Tennessee's hands. In his State of the State address, he announced an additional $580 million for public education, including more funding for the Tennessee Investment in Student Achievement Formula and another teacher pay raise.
And a new report finds that states like New Jersey have made progress in providing school mental health services to its students, but work still remains.
The report by Inseparable, a national mental health advocacy organization, measures states based on 13 policy targets. New Jersey is one of only 4 states to implement required mental health screenings in 6 or more grades. But the state had not implemented or only partially implemented 5 policies, such as excused absences for mental health or school telehealth programs. Caitlin Hochul with Inseparable says early mental health screenings are critical to student success.
When you catch a condition early and you get treatment that you need early, you have better outcomes. You're more likely to be more engaged in school and have academic success and perform better in the workforce later on. So we really emphasize, providing annual screenings to students.
The Garden State also mandates mental health literacy in the classroom, requiring life skill competencies and mental health literacy education. That includes suicide prevention and substance use disorders. I'm Zimone Perez.
This is Public News Service. North Dakota's governor this week signed a bill that maintains state funding for rural communities in dire need of thriving grocery stores.
The state launched a specialized grant program in 2023 that set aside $1 million for smaller communities to share if their local grocery store was in danger of closing its doors. For example, one small community used its share to match funds for the purchase and reopening of a local convenience store, which added groceries and a restaurant. Ellen Huber of the North Dakota Association of Rural Electric Cooperatives spoke in support of the new bill that extends these grant opportunities.
Without action, our rural communities are becoming increasingly reliant on distant markets for basic needs and are paying the transportation and fuel costs.
Huber told lawmakers that since 2014, North Dakota has lost 47 rural grocery stores, leaving only 90 operating around the state. I'm Mike Moen.
And as the city of Milwaukee continues to grapple with addressing unsafe levels of lead across public schools, experts are calling it an environmental justice issue.
At least 3 Milwaukee schools have closed and about a handful of students were exposed to unsafe levels of lead. As city officials continue to investigate, they are forced to do so without federal support that usually assists in crises like these. Tony Wilkin-Gibbart with Midwest Environmental Advocates says Milwaukee was already facing a lead poisoning crisis from other sources, and finding hazardous levels in schools can easily overwhelm city departments that are working with limited resources.
Milwaukee has the highest rates of childhood lead poisoning of any community in the state. That problem is primarily driven by the fact that inner city Milwaukee has been historically subject to redlining, housing discrimination, and disinvestment.
Gibbart says inner city kids may be going from homes that have lead hazards to schools that have lead hazards. I'm Judith Ruiz Branch reporting.
Finally, a key energy bill aimed at attracting new power generation projects to Indiana is on its way to Governor Mike Braun after being approved by House Republicans. We get the details from our Joe Ulori.
The bill speeds up approvals for large power users like data centers. It lets utilities recover costs for projects that serve those customers. It also requires major grid additions to cover at least 80% of project costs, shielding other ratepayers from extra expenses. The plan from Republican State Representative Ed Soliday of Valparaiso increases oversight of utilities that want to shut down or convert coal-fired plants. He said Indiana must incentivize businesses to get them here. here.
If we are able to incentivize them to come here, we get 80% of something, not 100% of nothing.
This story was produced with original reporting from Casey Smith for Indiana Capital Chronicle.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Broadcasting from beautiful Chewelah, Washington, this is Northern Lights Public Radio, KCHW 102.7.
Programming on KCHW brought to you in part by New Health. New Health is dedicated to providing five-star health care to communities across Northeast Washington. With locations in Chewelah, Colville, Ione, Loon Lake, Newport, 9 Mile Falls, and Springdale, they offer comprehensive medical, dental, pharmacy, and behavioral health services tailored to meet each patient's needs. Their team is committed to helping individuals and families live their healthiest lives. For more information or to schedule an appointment, you can call 509-935-6004. New Health, bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare since 1978. And by Fired Up Pizza. Fired Up Pizza, located at 206 East Main Avenue in downtown Chewelah, offers craft beverages and brick oven-fired pizza, including a variety of sandwiches, salads, pasta, and homemade soups. Featuring weekly events such as bingo, karaoke, and live music. Fired Up Pizza also has space for your private event and offers both in-house and off-site catering services. Open daily at 11:30 a.m. for lunch and dinner. For more information, visit their Facebook page or contact Fired Up Pizza at 509-936-9121. Fired Up Pizza is a proud supporter of public radio in Stevens County.
It's 8:11.
Programming on KCHW brought to you in part by New Health. New Health is dedicated to providing five-star health care to communities across Northeast Washington. With locations in Chewelah, Colville, Ione, Loon Lake, Newport, 9 Mile Falls, and Springdale, they offer comprehensive medical, dental, pharmacy, and behavioral health services tailored to meet each patient's needs. Their team is committed to helping individuals and families live their healthiest lives. For more information or to schedule an appointment, you can call 509-935-6004. New Health, bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare since 1978. And by Fired Up Pizza. Fired Up Pizza, located at 206 East Main Avenue in downtown Chewelah, offers craft beverages and brick oven-fired pizza, including a variety of sandwiches, salads, pasta, and homemade soups. Featuring weekly events such as bingo, karaoke, and live music. Fired Up Pizza also has space for your private event and offers both in-house and off-site catering services. Open daily at 11:30 a.m. for lunch and dinner. For more information, visit their Facebook page or contact Fired Up Pizza at 509-936-9121. Fired Up Pizza is a proud supporter of public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
Morning sun peeking through the sky. It's time to wake up and just say hi. Coffee's brewing, birds are singing. Northern Lights Radio to get your morning ringing. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. Your KCHW FM morning crew starts now. Yahoo! Weather's changing, Temperatures are rising, but don't you fret, just keep shining. From local news to global events, we cover it all right to the wacky end. Got your favorite jokes and stories too.
And ones that make you cringe.
KCHW FM morning crew starts now. Please don't boo. We're waiting, la la la, la la la, still waiting.
I think they're waiting.
They're waiting. Everybody's waiting.
Still waiting.
Still waiting. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. We are back for round 2. That was lovely, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we are back here in the studio audience with our guests, Karin Freeman and Gina Greenwood. Good morning, ladies. How are you doing? I guess it helps if I turn up your mics, huh? Sorry about that.
Good morning. Love the song, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's wonderful.
That one was
a
kind of
good one.
pleasant. Yeah.
Yeah, very.
And
I did that one for you and the girls on Wednesday, and I did that dubstep one for us on Thursday. So.
And if you do feel the need to boo, do it in kindness and love.
Yeah, please.
There's no booing about that song.
That was great. That was great. So welcome, ladies. Yeah. So again, we have Gina and Karin here. I pointed at the wrong ones, but that's okay. So yeah, you guys are here for Earth Day. Why don't you tell us a little bit about? Start off. Tell us about what to expect here on Saturday.
Karin, go, girl. Well, I'm Karin Freeman, as he said, and I'm a member of St. Paul, and we are just resurging the Earth Day event on Saturday, the 26th, that we've had in our past. The community has celebrated it for many years, and it's time to come back with that because we're ready. And we'll have vendors that day. We'll have nonprofit people like master gardeners, and we'll have fire suppression for wildfires. We'll have the Chewelah Land Trust should be there. Mm-hmm. Different venues from the Conservation District will be there. And we'll have free birdhouses for children. Our guys have gotten together and made kits with a grant, or he granted us cedar from the Kettle Falls.
Donation.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so there'll be free birdhouses for kids to build. They've made some nice kits for kids, and so there'll be birdhouses. And then there'll be another a guy that Blaine's birdhouses will be there.
It will be Chester's, actually, but he'll be representing Chester's, the ancient Chester birdhouse from Farmers Market.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
Tell
cool.
them about the breakfast, too.
Oh, yes.
A free breakfast should be there. Yeah, not should be.
It starts at 10.
Starts at 10.
This is my
earlier.
first time on radio. I'm a little bit nervous.
Sometimes it helps if you just
shake it down and shake it down.
Really, it's just us here in the room, and we're just having a conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll be there.
Gina came in all calm. She knew this. She's been on the radio before. She knows how slack it is around KCHW.
Gina's chill naturally.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway,
we're just visiting.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is a breakfast. There's a sausage and biscuits. I'm going to be making that morning.
And there'll be salad because Gina really wanted fresh salad.
She wanted
good.
Green goddess dressing.
Yes, and a nice
That's a good
raspberry vinaigrette from home.
Yeah, talking my language.
Yep.
No, you were telling me before that breakfast might actually be available before
10. Yeah, for vendors, and you wander by, we'll feed you.
Outstanding.
And Sally's
it's a free
coffee.
breakfast. Donations will go to the food bank.
That's the whole purpose of this is our food bank. Is the profits go to the food bank, and it's a community-wide event that supports our food bank, and our food bank needs money now.
Our food bank does need money. They're with everything going on and funding being cut, state funding and federal funding.
Yep.
I know they're really hurting, and they do such great work for the community. And they need They need all the help they can get.
It's a free event, and everything that anyone feels gracious to donate will go to the Chewelah Food Bank.
In fact, the food bank is open right now from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Correct.
You can
Thursday.
swing by there now. You can bring donations.
Indeed.
Food donations, but probably what's even better than food donations is cash donations.
Yeah.
Because then they
That way
can go and get the
what
food.
they know people need and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to have something really also exciting, I have to say. Mo Oliver is going to be our traveling troubadour throughout the creek side and the vendors, and with his beautiful violin and his little magic floating around.
Amen.
And then we're super excited. We have the Infusion Band, which will start at 11:30. Dave Bergman, who's been in this area forever. He graduated from Jenkins High School. He was a drum major and then student director. He played music over 55 years. He's been around a bit of time.
Yeah.
Their theme, blues, jazz, and funk.
Yes.
And then he was the house band at the Old King Cole in Colville back in the day.
Very cool.
This should be
And
fun.
I know, and Oldie Johnson, he's the blues guitar lead vocal, and he's been playing around together with Dave 20 years. 20
Yep.
years. He's
Yep.
had a blues band throughout his travels, Wyoming, Canada, whatnot. He's traveled a lot, Oldie, and he's always been, has his own band throughout the season.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Lynn Miner, drums, trained in jazz. He was in the Air Force, moved here 30 years ago. So these men have been playing together for a while.
Well, and Dave Jr. on the bass.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, sorry.
And then Dave Jr.,
Yeah.
who's the newest addition, the
I can't
son
wait.
of Dave. I know. And he was a sax player in the Chewelah High School
Wow.
band,
Oh, yeah.
And in college, he recently joined the group, and he's the bass. And I love to dance. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping that is exactly the energy. These guys are good, and their souls
They
are
are.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what makes me happy is the soul shine. Let's also
I can see
soul
us.
shine.
I can see us dancing by the creek
Oh,
there. It's
yeah.
such a gorgeous spot. It really is.
And then we have the Kids World. Gail Schrappe is going to be doing some weaving on recycled
Nice.
looms.
Oh,
And then
nice.
she has a fun recycled magical little fun thing that we do. We blend some things together, she does, and then they're going to be able to make a momentum of the Earth Day Fair. That's a little surprise. Then I will be all ages. It's not going to just be for little ones. It's going to be for big kids like me and you.
Yeah.
So we're going to have various art stations, all
Nice.
recyclable materials, pretty fun, and then we'll have a hands-on group project as well. One thing too is that we'll be talking about our expression of honoring our Mother Earth, especially being in good stewardship. So the whole event educates people and
Yeah.
reminds us of our responsibility to contribute, to do our part of non-consumerism, but actually repurposing and reusing and putting our heart into what we do in our life. Because to me, I live from my heart, and it's going to be fun, really fun. I'm excited.
There's all kinds of vendors there, not just. I'm sorry to interrupt. There's all kinds of vendors there. There's the recycle bins will be there. No glass, but everything else. There's
Flowery Trail Coffee. Sally will be
Very
there.
cool.
There's a free tree. Western Larch, we're going to get a handout of free tree.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then Christy Clyott, who people know, she's going to be doing these sun catcher beautiful things.
We need that.
Nice.
And then Christina from she does jewelry. She's a regular at the farmers market. So
Yeah.
I don't know who else Karin has in line, but there's going to be a lot of vendors and
There is.
good energy and fun and lots of love floating through.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you mentioned a little bit about how you're at the beginning when you first started talking about this. You said you're bringing it back. Was it gone before? Was it not
Well, I think
celebrated here for a while? Or
Well, Gina's been doing it for a long time, and
Many years at
on the
our
corner.
studio.
Yep.
okay,
Yeah, but here at the church we did it since about 2008.
okay.
Yeah,
I remember when I first started the radio station back in 2011, you guys were doing a fair every summer. And then like most things that had a rhythm, COVID came along and took the sales out of everything. So it's awesome you guys are getting this started back up. I know here in Maine, there was a lot of excitement this year that I don't think I've noticed in the past several years past about Earth Day. A lot of different, there's been things working on the trails around Chewelah and stuff too. A lot of things going on. And I feel like maybe societally, we're a little more positive. I think we've moved away over the past few years where they tried to make climate change a political issue instead of an issue of like what Gina said, being a good steward and thinking about what we're doing and what we're doing for future generations. Look at your kids. You know, when you do something trashy, I think people are moving along. I hear less people arguing about it. And I think locally, maybe in the Chewelah area, where I noticed the change of people arguing about climate change was the fires. I think it became in Stevens County over the past 8 years, it's became a lot more real to us that we need to protect our planet. My big wish is that we take this renewed interest in protecting the planet and get rid of plastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other more I can't even think of the right words, but there's more.
Make our plastic out of hemp.
Yeah, there's
Why
better
not?
responsible products.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on the benefits of growing hemp instead of plastics.
And
I've
also,
been
you
doing that
can
for a long
just put
time.
your good spring water or something in a canning jar and put a lid on it, and maybe glass is the best. Just drinking from if you can.
I can
Right,
remember my
right.
mom
Yeah,
doing that
that's
when
what
we
I
went.
do.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
when we went on hikes, that's what she used to do.
Some of you might remember back in the day, we at our studio we peeled handmade teepee poles.
Yeah,
Harry River
I
bought them,
remember
and
that.
a lot of people who've passed over, and we put up teepees and had a foraging. Jay Coates did foraging. We did a lot, and then one year we did. Dave Govadair designed a salmon, and Daniel Dancer, who I came in on a grant. He's an aerial artist in regards to the earth. So here on City Hall, if you guys were a part of the salmon, that was the Greenwood Arts Center Earth Day, and it was
I was
an
standing
aerial.
by Sally.
It's pretty amazing, and that was in 2002. But we started like 1995 or something like that. But yeah, it's a passion for me, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
I would
this
love
year.
to get some aerial artists to audition for Chewela's Got Talent, but I don't know how we do that.
Well, this was, we had a.
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember the pilot, but we had everybody. You were
Yeah,
there, right?
I was
It was
there.
a beautiful image, lots of people. And then my idea was to make mosaics. It was a circle. So David did the salmon design with humans, right? Of course.
Right.
Then I said, everybody bring some clothing that you want to give away.
Yeah.
So we laid the T-shirts out like mosaics because I love mosaics. So
Yeah.
on the lawn, here's the salmon with the humans, and we all bent over. With different colors on our back.
Yeah.
And then oh my gosh, some little kid from the daycare was the eye with a little mirror, and then with the mouth was the little kids. the mouth. And it was so awesome because the idea was the mosaics, and it worked beautifully from the air. So the T-shirts were all laid out. We bent over with certain colors. We all wore certain colors to create this design. But the T-shirts were then given away to whoever wanted. But from the mosaic, it was awesome.
It was
That is
fun.
fantastic.
Fun. You remember that?
Yeah, it was very community.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Super fun.
I kind of want to go back to what the point that Scott was making about, people that don't believe in climate change or that don't really support. Like, even if you don't believe it, and these are for the people out there listening that may or may not believe that it's man-made, maybe it's cyclical. I've heard all the arguments. Why not? What if it's a matter of keeping the trash off the
Take
streets?
responsibility.
We're all
Be
on this
good
whirling
stewards.
earth.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
had better take care.
Keep your resources available for the younger generations. Don't use everything as fast as you can use it and then toss it out. in
And
the
live
rivers.
like walk your talk, right?
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you're telling your young people what
Yeah.
you didn't do it, show by example, like lead by example, is a good way.
Yeah, just
Super easy. Just
It's
do
so
the
easy.
right
Just
thing.
do it.
yeah.
Right.
And for years, I know growing up, because even when I was a kid, the whole bottled water craze has been throughout my lifetime.
yeah.
And luckily, I think it's becoming. I mean, you still see the bottled waters everywhere. I've stopped using them here. We've got our dispenser out there, with cups. Unfortunately, we use plastic cups, but but still, why not? Just there's no reason to use it. And there's a lot of people that think, when bottled water first started coming out, why would I spend money to buy a bottle and a water? Buy water in a bottle. And then now a lot of those same people are the ones that are buying cases and cases and cases of bottled water and throwing
And when
the
you
bottle
pick
up,
up trash along the highway, it's the bottled water.
I like telling people, you were right. You were right back in the day, 100% right. You don't need to buy your bottle and water.
And
your
it's
water in bottles.
ironic that Carla, who was a part of our market for years, she recycles, and she's going to donate some cool stuff like flowers that are cut. She hand cuts. She's the one that did the fish. She doesn't participate any longer at this because of her hands. But anyhow, she's coming early and donating these cool. And so she refurbishes these plastic bottles, and she makes fish, and
Nice.
she's going to donate these little cool flowers with magnets on the back. Anyhow, and then I've got a cool project for the creamery lids that Brad brought.
Oh,
the
very
creamery
cool.
for the,
Very cool.
Yeah, so we got
Yeah,
some
how to use
repurposed
those.
stuff happening.
Well, and if you're downtown, Marcy Bravo's display is still up.
Oh gosh, Marcy,
Yeah.
bravo!
Oh, my
And I
goodness.
saw your little jellyfish here, and I've
Yes.
known Marcy for years, and the installation is
It's
beautiful.
mounted up there. I can't.
And she has pottery at the gallery, the Trails End too. But
Very
yeah, go
cool.
see the installation at night. She said it's really beautiful.
Yeah,
It's lit up.
I don't remember the address, but it's across the street from the general store
Correct.
in
Yeah.
the old Kathy's Attic building.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's being renovated.
Yeah,
The-
it's right
in the
there.
window.
It is
Yeah.
the most beautiful, amazing
It's
display.
so lovely. She's
Yeah.
a great
It's an
fiber artist and repurposes. It's magical. It's an
Yeah.
underwater world.
It's underwater world. It's the entire window,
And a
but
mermaid-
it's made out of
mermaid
trash.
might be in there.
Yeah, it's cool in the day, but I can't imagine it at night. I've got to see that.
Check
Oh.
it out at night. She told
Yeah.
me to check it out.
You
at
need
night.
to. It is gorgeous, all lit up. The light comes from underneath, and it's magical.
That
It
sounds
really,
fun.
really
It is
is.
lovely.
Yeah.
It is great. So you guys have some talking points here that you like to go over. Now I know Earth Day was started in the 1960s,
Yeah.
right? Do you want to tell us a little bit about the origins of Earth Day, or do you want me to read it for you?
Well, I mean, origins of didn't it start with that the woman's Silent Spring? I read that
Yeah.
article too. That was
Yeah.
a good article in the Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 60s, they were obviously a time of great change.
Yeah.
An environmental ethic started coming about in the 60s.
Yeah.
And it was sort of spurred on by Rachel Carson's Silent Spring and a large oil spill that happened in Santa Barbara in 1969. And these were sort of the events that sort of triggered the creation of Earth Day and some of this more conscious awareness of treatment of our planet.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then let's see. So the Earth Day was started by Gaylord Nelson from Wisconsin. He recruited Dennis Hayes to set up demonstrations on college campuses, but then Hayes saw the potential for a more widespread impact, and he started setting up regional organizations that inspired people to demonstrate and demand changes within the industry, manufacturing, regulation, to create a healthier, more sustainable environment. For
I think you
current
should
and
point out that
succeeding generations. Yeah.
Gaylord Nelson was a U.S. senator too.
Yeah.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of
Very cool.
yeah.
Wonderful.
He got the ball rolling, anyways, after the oil spill. It was kind of, and her story was something that gave him the drive to champion that.
Yeah. So then I have another thing here. So obviously we're at the St. Lutheran Church here in Chewelah, and we talked a little bit about bringing it back. When was the last time you were able to have the celebration at the church?
I think that it was 2014. So it's been a while. It really has.
Oh, 2014.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
So this is-
maybe 17.
Okay.
Helen said that it was 17.
So it was
Yeah.
it was before COVID. It wasn't COVID that sort of
No.
stopped it.
No, things wane and they wax or whatever that
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
You know, things change within a community, and our little church is a community, and we're a little older now,
Yeah.
so.
So share with everybody the quilt. When you
Oh, yeah.
when you showed me
Oh.
those beautiful quilts, that would be it's repurposed materials with those quilts. And
The church is open for that day, and so you'll be able to go up to the sanctuary, and we have ladies, and I help sometimes, not all the time, but we have ladies that get together in the basement, and we make quilts for people that need quilts.
Beautiful
we have,
quilts.
We have donated so many quilts up to Colville, the homeless shelter up there. We've sent them off to a Navajo Nation, making baby quilts of that big star. It's a treasured motif in their culture.
Yeah.
And we've got probably maybe there might be 70
I was
quilts up there,
impressed
100.
visually. She took me up to the sanctuary, and I'm like, oh my gosh! So it's going to be open that day.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
need to make an effort. They're gorgeous. They made I got chills talking about it. It was such a
Really?
beautiful effort of love
Yeah.
and kindness and
Yeah.
handmade.
Yeah,
Use those
and
hands.
they're draped all over the pews.
beautiful.
It makes the sanctuary very beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of hours on those
I just got
quilts.
this big chill. I was like, Karen.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It really
So
is.
make an effort to go up
It
there.
is. It's a-
yeah,
I'm
beautiful.
our family. We're not quilters. We don't make them, but we're a fan of quilts, and we love. That's one of our favorite things to look for in like secondhand stores. We go up to the Apple Barn and, and Kettle Falls, and There's always some beautiful quilts
So
on
go
display.
up and it's incredible.
We always end up blowing our paycheck on quilts. And
Well, these aren't fancy designs, but there's a lot of discussion when we make them about, well, should we put fleece on this one? Oh, wouldn't that be just a cozy wrap if you really needed one? So, we talk about the materials and about how the people will
Nice.
receive them.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, we just donated one to Young Life 2 to auction off in their gala up there at the right in front of the casino. Yeah,
Oh,
they're going to
nice.
have a gala on the.
They're just getting started with that program,
Yeah.
aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they are.
Which program is that again? Sorry.
It's
Young
Young
Life
Life
program.
Oh, yeah, the Young Life program.
and they've got a middle school program that's called Wildlife.
Mhm.
Yep.
So now you guys, this is going to be behind the church in the grassy area
Along
next
the
to the
creek.
creek.
We've got the best spot. We really
That is
do.
a beautiful spot right there.
And then and Karin's food and things will be right inside, and the
Nice.
band will be outdoors because it's going to be a glorious day.
It is gonna be
and we'll be
gorgeous on
dancing
Saturday.
and having fun and doing art and sharing. With our community.
75 for Saturday. It's going to be really nice.
Oh, good.
I didn't know it was 75. It started at 68 and it's climbed steadily. I just praise God
Wonderful.
Yeah.
for that.
Wonderful.
We have a community garden back there. We call it a community garden. We just have decided not to, as a church, to really go and plant a lot of things. We usually have a ton of sunflowers, if you remember. It's
Yeah,
right in front
yeah.
of our parsonage or in back of our parsonage. And there's a young man, Dwayne, who has rototilled it all, and then Sierra, a friend of mine, is going to be involved in it this year, and we're going to grow as much food as we can for the food bank.
Oh, that's
So
very
you
nice.
might want to
I
go
love
over
that.
there and see that. Yeah,
That makes
yeah.
my heart happy.
Yeah, it should be
Ooh.
a fun project.
And I want to expand on that. I've heard, I wanted to look into a while about what are the logistics or what are the legalities of if you have your home garden, your vegetables that you grow at home, if you can donate those
You
vegetables
can.
to the food. Okay, you can. Okay.
You can, yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah.
Because we've thought about, and it's a thing that we've seen other people do it, and it works great. I can grow one thing wonderful. I can grow lettuce really great. I do really good with that. I can grow certain things great. Some things I don't have the knack for it. I don't know how to do, but other people can.
Sometimes it's your garden space,
Yeah.
and where you are. Like I'm at 2,800 feet, so
Yeah.
sometimes I get chilly at night.
So
But what I've heard of is like people will get together as a community and say, okay, I'm really good at growing this, but I can't grow this. And somebody says, oh, I'm really good at growing that, but I can't grow what you grow. So people will get together as groups and grow the things that
I love
and
that.
coordinate
Yeah,
to
that
make
they're-
sure they have everything that,
they
we need.
resonate with certain
Yeah.
plants, people. Yes.
Yeah,
they-
and we've seen it go as far as to where people grow one or two things within a community, and you'll have 15, 20 community members that are each growing one or two things that they're really
They
good
grow
at.
it well, yeah.
And then you share all of that stuff. And I would love to see something like that happen here.
Yeah, I
You might have a problem, Chuck, because lettuce grows itself.
So I have a little question for those of you who are listening. I was wanting to get a fresh flower bouquets, and Abigail, who does the farmers market, she's not quite. It's early in the season. She's going to be ready for next year. She
Yay.
said. But if
Yeah.
anybody's listening and wants to do some like recycled vases with whatever and some fresh flowers, I would love to see that. If you're going to sell anything, it's $20. That's it. $20 goes to the food bank.
Yeah.
If you're not selling anything, it's free. But basically, $20 again goes to a good cause. But anybody out there wants to still vend, there's space available.
Yes.
They can call What number do they call?
They can call me at my number.
Go ahead. Are you
Really?
going to share your number?
509.
Watch out, Karin.
936. All right, 2157.
So
936-2157. Don't
Yeah.
prank call Karin.
Or the church too. You can just always stop in and just
Just show up
or
there
show
on
up.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I've got an extra carry table that weighs about 5 pounds.
If you show up, just show up around between 8:30 and 9, so we know you're gonna show up, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anyhow,
And we'll sign you up and give you breakfast.
oh yeah, and come early because she's gonna feed the vendors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Earlier than 10. So like
Well,
whoever.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be there at 6, but it won't be ready. Please don't come at 6.
Well, I think it's going to be a great event, and thank you guys so much for doing
Oh,
this
it's
for the
wonderful.
community.
I'm happy.
I think right now, probably more than ever, it's needed. It's needed, and just that little spark of joy
Let's bring
amen.
some
I was
joy.
just thinking about that word, joy.
Live in joy.
Yeah.
That's what we need more of.
And I wanted to ask you, Gina, so you mentioned dance. Are you going to be leading the dancing?
You know, I'm an organic person at this point, but
There you go.
I'm going to be dancing probably. And I have props.
Well, I know if there's music, Gina's going to be dancing.
Recycled stuff.
We're talking
cool,
hula
very cool.
hoops.
Yeah, all kinds of things. Woo-hoo. I still remain mysterious, you know, so I can't tell everything.
I don't know if
just
anybody's
come.
told you, Gina, but you are like the world's greatest hippie.
Okay, all righty then. Well, you know, I used to say I had an acronym for that. Is helping individual people pursue ideal endeavors.
Amen.
Ooh.
That's very cool. That's
So
cool.
I have four more things you guys might not know about Earth Day.
Okay.
Before we wrap things up. Okay.
Yeah.
The first Earth Day was held, we talked about in 1969 and what spurred it, but the first actual Earth Day held in 1970. It sparked public awareness and ultimately led to the establishment of the Environmental Protection Agency.
Nice.
Yeah. So that same year of 1970. While originating in the U.S., Earth Day has become a worldwide celebration now with millions participating in activities across the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah. EarthDay.org creates a new theme for each year's Earth Day, focusing on different environmental issues and goals. And you might not know that Earth Day has its own flag, an image of Earth taken from the Apollo 10 mission representing our planet. And then let's see if I got on the right. I had it open. I might have lost it. Does anybody know what their theme is for this year?
I was just going to ask you that, Scott.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to look it up right here.
I had earthday.org open.
Walk gently.
I'll just type it
On
in
the
real
earth.
quick. Yeah. We do this all the time. That's why we say don't get nervous.
Right? Yeah. We have no idea what we're doing. We just make it up as we go along.
All right. I'm almost there. Bear
Are
with
you
me.
Googling?
I am. I'm Googling on the
You're
radio.
Googling live. I tried doing it, but it just took me to other articles about earthday.org instead of taking me to.
It's okay. Earth Day's 2025 theme is Our Power, Our Planet, calling for everyone to unite around renewable energy sources so we can triple clean electricity by 2030.
There you go.
That's this year's mission
Can I
statement.
write that down?
Only if you have
I don't
shorthand.
Google. I'm not a computer person. I would not write it down. But all right, Scott, you've got it right.
Well, fine. I've
Yes.
got it up here too. So
And,
Yeah.
Okay,
so
chuckle.
we'll.
Yeah.
I'll
I'd like that.
I'll copy it and I'll text it to you.
A little something.
Triple.
Yeah.
I'll paint
Was it
the-
triple?
very cool.
How do you triple clean the electricity?
I'm not sure what that means.
So we can triple
Well,
clean
maybe-
electricity.
maybe-
Because it comes out of water.
Because we're using wind and we're using solar and
Yes.
other
yeah.
places are using geothermal. So we're
Yes.
cleaning up our electricity by using natural resources instead of things that pollute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this sounds like a great event. And again, thank you guys for coming in. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Tell us about the event before you go.
Live
My
and
daughter's
joy.
gonna make kettle corn.
Yes.
The famous Bessie.
We forgot the kettle. That's so sweet.
Yeah, and kids will get a free bag.
Oh, nice.
So please come with your kids.
I can't go and get a free bag of kettle.
You have to pay.
Can I? Okay, I can buy
it's
it.
Not, it's only a donation. See, remember? It didn't really cost anything.
Bring donations that fold, not jingle.
That go to the
Yeah.
Yeah.
That go to the food
Lovely.
bank. Thanks
That
for
was
having
awesome.
us.
You bet. I want to throw this out before you gals leave, just kind of wrap it up. So if you're new to Chihuahua or you're not familiar, St. Paul's Lutheran Church is 110 North 2nd Street here in Chihuahua. It's this Saturday, their big Earth Day event, the 26th, from 10 to 2 behind the church.
Yeah, and if you're heading, I described it as if you're heading south, right? Take a right at the light, but then you go down a little ways and take another right. I don't know that street, but you can look and see.
Isn't that Colville Avenue?
I don't know. I don't know the streets. I just take a right at the light if you're heading towards Spokane, then another right. When you look down, you'll see the creek side.
Yeah, and
all
it's the first right, right?
It's right behind the pizza place.
North 2nd.
Yeah.
Is there a
Oh,
bridge
second,
that
thank
goes
you.
across?
Yeah, there is.
There's a bridge?
Yeah, there is. We've got a sign on it.
Train tracks.
Yeah.
I love bridges.
All sorts
I
of
love
stuff.
creeks. I'll probably be playing in the creek,
And
too.
you know,
but-
right across from your yard there, I always call it like Chihuahua's best kept little secret park.
It
It's
is
that little
so-
area right there that's so gorgeous and
Good
it's
for
so
dogs.
serene, and nobody's ever there.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
And it's quiet and it's small, and I like that. So.
And lots of beautiful trees
Yeah.
along the creek.
Yeah.
I just saw a couple ducks nesting there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, so my question now, Karin. I'm sorry that we introduced you as Karen.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's just a vowel.
I'm sorry.
Now I forgot my question.
You know, I even knew that because Gina, I think you corrected me once, and
okay.
and
It's-
someone
and
else
it's spelled
was
Karin.
Yeah.
I always like to know how people spell their names.
It's like car in the garage.
So I remember what I was going to ask you, Karin. So it wasn't that bad. You were nervous. You looks like you relaxed real well. So all right. Tell your friends when they get invited on the radio, it's not that horrible.
Okay.
and hopefully we'll get you on again sometime.
Good.
All right.
All right.
Big round of applause.
Thank you, ladies.
Karin
Great to be here.
Freeman
Thank
and
you.
one and only Gina Greenwood.
And this
Shake
is my
it down.
This is my first time since I've taken over here I've had you on the air, and I think that's way too long.
Okay, I thought I've been with you before, but I know Scott several times.
Yeah, I think this is my first time with you on the
Really?
air. I know I spend a lot of time talking with you, but I think this is my first time with you
Well, all righty then.
on the air. That needs to change immediately. Immediately, Gina.
Yeah. and I like how her kind of like background when we were talking, she goes, "It's so magical." I think we need to have her sit in on radio shows at least once a week and whisper things into the mic as we're talking.
Scott,
Like-
I'm looking at you now. Your hair. Look at your hair.
Look at that, baby.
Isn't it gorgeous?
I love it. I didn't know what you looked like from across the.
Yeah, I didn't have your video up on there
That's
for
all
him.
right. We're coming around. Ooh, love it.
I am. You still have the top spot, but I am the world's second best hippie. Thank you.
Take good care.
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.
Thank you, ladies, so much. All right, Chuck, we've got some time as we wrap up the show. Would you like to roll out some odd news?
Let's do it. Let's do some odd news.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, here we go. It's today's odd news. We always kick off the thing with the news attack, where the first sentence is true and the second sentence is a bad joke. And here comes Chuck Ritchie to get us started today.
Utterly terrible joke. All right, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth recently ordered modifications to a room to retrofit it with a makeup studio that can be used to prepare him for TV appearances. Yeah, he's ensuring our military defense includes defense against bad lighting.
Finally, a government official understands the importance of foundation in national security.
Don't forget your setting spray. Wow.
He's got short hair. All right. And if he's wearing makeup all the time, it's not working. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. NFL draft begins tonight. Ryan Seacrest is hosting.
Will the coaches turn their chairs around if they like what they hear from the players?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bing, and they'll talk over their singing.
I think that would be great if they did it more like a reality show, you know, instead of the tryouts. You know, they go through, they do personality things, they do challenges, you know.
Make them pick a door to see what their paycheck's going to be.
Right. Ooh, I like that.
Pick door number 2.
I like
$100.
that. Do wacky challenges. I think it's great. Make them do recycled outfits. Yeah. The NFL draft begins tonight. If you haven't heard, I'll also be drafting the best snacks that I plan to consume when the season begins this fall.
Ooh.
So picking out all my
of
snacks.
Seasons, Chuck, it's wedding season.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm putting my hands down.
Are you trying to tell us something, Scott?
Yeah. Many engaged couples already live together. By the time they get married, they'll be ready for divorce.
Oh.
It's not true. It's not true at all.
Where's
no example?
I was together with my wife for a long time before we got married. We were living together. We had, our household established before we got married. Kind of at that point, it was just for the tax benefits,
We're already doing it. We thought we'd save on taxes.
It was an excuse to throw a great party, and the rebates, the refunds were great. Yeah.
All right.
So researchers say that a hug that's intended to make someone feel better should last at least 6 seconds. If it's shorter than 6 seconds, the person being hugged will assume you're a pickpocket.
And if it's longer than 10, you're doing a reach around. Sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm mostly sorry.
No, you're
kind
not.
of sorry.
You shouldn't be. That was better than the real joke.
Okay.
All right, next one's you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Go for it.
Post-it notes are 45 years old. Wild to think only 45 years ago, people wrote notes on a piece of paper and just left them floating around their office.
If I could turn the camera around right now, Scott, and you would see my collage of sticky notes all over the bottom of the monitor, and yeah.
So I would have to, when I did the same thing there, it's a bad habit, and then I would collect them all at like the end of the week, and I'd have 20 sticky notes, and I'd have to go through each sticky note and wrote down what I put on the sticky note on a piece of paper, so I'd actually do it.
Write them down on another sticky note?
One big one. I need sticky notes like, 3 by 3 feet.
Then so do you get the ones that are sticking up actively, and then you get like on top of that, you get like the pile of them that you take off and stack together? You get those? Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't reach it without disturbing the microphone, but I'd show you my stack of sticky notes. Yeah.
All right, be careful. The next one's about the Pope.
All right. Religious experts say anytime a new pope has to be chosen, there's a slight uptick in the number of men who are interested in the priesthood. Yeah, free housing, work 1 day a week. You get to wear the same thing every day. It just makes sense, Scott.
It does. Can you try to be a pope if you've been married before?
I don't. Can the pope? Can they? Oh, they can't get married. They can't be married, can they?
Could you have been married and then be a pope? I'm kind of curious.
I'm not sure.
You've been married? Maybe, probably not.
In related news, the conclave opens up on Netflix today.
Oh, there's the thing. All right,
that is a true story.
Really?
Yeah,
okay, it is.
Yeah, it was
debuting.
set to debut today, and
right.
yeah.
All right, wacky but true. We don't add into the thing to these stories, but sound effects and clips from movies. First story up in wacky but true. Numerous prisoners have escaped from a high security prison in Pakistan by using their turbans as ropes.
Ooh.
The men busted.
Wow.
They busted through a bathroom window in the hospital wing of the prison, then crawled out the window, unplugged the electric security fence, unrolled their turbans, tossing them over the prison's exterior wall, and climbing up the lengths and down the lengths of the cloth.
Wow. Were they sure to like? What my big question here is: did they take their cloths back so they could put their turbans on? Because I know they're very important.
Yeah.
Or did they just walk around?
Hide. I can't get this knot out. Let's see if we can glean anything maybe of what happened by this report.
Yeah.
They're climbing up the wall. Places everyone. Oh, come on. Climb the castle walls. Sweep her off her feet. Carry her off in style.
They're required to make
Get
a
back,
ramp.
go check the electric fence or something.
Oh, Johnny, darling, you must be exhausted. Breaking out of prison, racing here in the nick of time, and saving your brother's life.
You got an hour start. Then I got to announce a prison break.
His turban is a fake, too. Just a hotel towel.
Hotel towel.
Hey, really quick before we move on, Scott, we have been neglectful. We have a whole bunch of Facebook comments. We had people watching. We didn't go along as we were going. David Bergman says Infusion is playing at Earth Day Fair. It should be a fun gig. We did talk about that. Wendy says hi. Let's see the preseason barter fair is this weekend at 410 Cemetery Road in Springdale. She also says hi to Gina. Sam says that break intro song, Scott, is jammin'.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
good job on
like
that.
The dubstep one, huh? Okay.
Wendy says, I enjoyed the song. Love Blaine. Infusion Music chimed in. They said pumped to perform and thanked Gina for bringing them in this weekend. Dave Bergman again said, thank you for supporting local musicians. Of course, it is our pleasure. Then he said, "Ooh, David, they're also going to be playing Soul Shine for Gina."
Wow.
So yeah, let's see. Oh, here's another one. This one comes from Paula on our Wednesday and Friday morning co-host. Earth Day 1970 was the largest protest in U.S. history, an estimated 20 million people.
Wow.
20, the largest in history.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to refresh my page when we started the show when they came on, so I didn't see the comments either.
I was just, when Gina comes in a room, she is electric. And
yeah, blame it on Gina. Good job.
And no, you get enthralled in talking with Gina. She's I love her. She's such a wonderful person, and it's hard to
great energy.
Do anything but focus on Gina. So computers looking at a computer screen versus looking at Gina's lovely face, Gina wins every time, hands down. So
all right. Sorry we missed those folks, but thanks for being there. And Chuck, tell us about rowing boats.
Yeah. So these two Norwegians, they thought they had the perfect escape vehicle for their heist, a rowboat. Police say the men were trying to rob a larger boat when an alarm alerted crew members, who quickly arrived and saw the two men trying to flee in a small rowboat. Their paddling attempts were hopeless, though. A witness said each man was on an oar and they were rowing in opposite directions.
This is comical. I would love to see it.
The crew of the larger boat gave chase, and it didn't take long to catch the crooks since they were rowing in a circle.
There's a late report. Earl Williams has just been spotted in a rowboat on Lake Michigan, disguised as a nun.
A nun?
Row your boat. Row your boat. Gently down the stream. Merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is mine.
Guys, sing of him. Row your boat.
We've seen this floating speck before. That means we've passed it before, and that means we're going in circles, and that means we're not going straight.
Causing a severe drag. Sort of like dragging your feet in a rowboat.
You guys are going in circles.
Oh, that'd have been great to see. Just then paddling like crazy, each in a different direction.
Just probably yelling at each other. Come on, let's go. What? That's a bad SNL skit.
Wow. All right, last story, and then we're going to make sure we don't have any birthdays today. I hate missing those.
Oh, yeah.
Our last story today is about a pet parrot in England who's been stuck up in a tree now for over a week because the bird never learned to fly.
Oh.
Well, usually when you have a pet parrot, you clip their wings so that they can't fly away.
Oh.
Despite the best efforts of the owner, Lindsay Fairbass, who even attempted to entice the bird, named Marvel with its favorite bacon. The green-winged macaw has remained perched 100 feet in the air despite various attempts to coax the bird down. Marvel has yet to make a move. In a last resort effort, she was reached out on social media for drone owners to assist her in either dropping a net over the tree or attempting to spook Marvel out of the tree to see where it would land. Lindsay has resolved to stay in her motorhome parked under the tree until Marvel comes down safely.
So what you got to do is you got to send the cat up the tree to get the bird, and then the fire department. Yeah, we've all read that book.
I found two guys that can take care of this.
Okay.
How would you like to be a bird that doesn't fly? I swim.
Oh, let's face it. Flying is for the birds.
So you still have that Spencer rifle, huh? Yeah. And I can still knock your eye out of a bird, too.
Like I said, flying is strictly for the birds.
Ned's an awful good shot with a rifle. You can have a bird in the eye flying.
Better than you, anyhow, kid. You wasn't even coming close.
Final word from the parrot.
I love that scene.
Have you ever owned a bird? Have you ever owned a bird?
We had two finches when I was a kid. They were my mom's birds. They were fine, they were a little annoying. I wasn't a huge fan. Finches are not necessarily a bird you interact with. They're just kind of there, And one day my mom decided we had scrambled eggs for breakfast, and something in those eggs, she fed them the scrambled eggs. They both died the same day after eating my mom's scrambled eggs. And I love you, Mom, but I've had your scrambled eggs, and I understand. Sorry.
Sorry. So I had a big green Amazon mealy, and I adopted him from a lady, and she told me he didn't really like men, but maybe because I was short, he would adjust or something. So I took him because he really needed a home, and she had to move. And for 2 months, I talked to this bird. He would never speak to me. He was potty trained and had the run of the house and would get on your arm and all that kind of stuff, but he wouldn't talk to me. But every time I passed the cage, I would say, "Hey, Pickles," because his name is Mr. Pickles, because he's green, looks like a giant pickle.
Yeah.
And he, one day I'm sitting there and I'm in the laundry room and the door's open and I can hear somebody talking. And I turn around and the door was open blocking his cage and he's sideways 100% at a 90-degree angle off the cage so he can peek around the door. And I turned around to see what the sound was and there's just this bird head peeking around the door and he goes, "Hey, Pickles." And then after that, he started talking up a storm. It was fun.
You know, when I used to have my handyman business, I had a client, one of my regular clients, that had this parrot. It had some sort of skin condition, completely bald. All it had was like a couple little tufts, like it looked like a mohawk on the top of its head.
Stress.
It would always wear sweaters and stuff. It was an only bird, so I don't. Maybe it was lonely. I don't know, but
it is stress.
Okay,
stress.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was hilarious because they would always dress the bird up. The bird always wore sweaters because it was cold, and it spoke. I mean, I think it was a parrot. It was hard to tell because it kind of just looked like a plucked chicken. But you know, it was one of those that it had quite the large vocabulary. But unlike humans, at 0.3 to 3%, about 90% of its vocabulary were curse words.
Oh,
and it was really good at knowing exactly what to say at the right times. And I would be there working on the house, and the things that bird would say to me were absolutely hilarious. You know, I'd drop a tool. "Oh, good one, beep beep." You know.
Awesome. Man, you are one pathetic loser.
The bird said that to you?
I love that bird. Yeah, the bird called me a loser.
Sorry. And we should have played this before we started our stories.
Good evening. Here is the news for parrots.
Thank you.
The news for parrots.
We should have put that first. All right, I had a brush with greatness, Chuck Ritchie. I almost forgot to tell you about it. Brush with greatness.
Oh.
All right. I'm on a Star Trek. You know what a Star Trek geek I am. I'm on a Star Trek chat group, right?
Yes.
Or a group on Facebook. And people are being the nasty examples that human beings can give, right? They're arguing, just being nasty to each other on this chat. And I went in there and shamed them all. And I won't get into what I said, but I ended it with, you have no right to watch this television show anymore because it's about peace, love, and hope.
Yeah.
You Klingons.
Oh.
Right? Okay. Guess who gave me a thumbs up?
Was it Patrick Stewart?
Oh, it wasn't that great of a brush with grace and greatness, but very close.
LeVar Burton?
I said very close to Patrick Stewart.
Oh, was it Jonathan Frakes?
Jonathan Frakes gave me a thumbs up for shaming the people on the Star Trek post. Commander Riker, thank you. Really, you've made my life complete now.
You know, he was one of those. I never liked his character, but then I got to discover what a wonderful human being Jonathan Frakes actually is, and it makes it hard to still hate his character.
Yeah. He lives just down the road in Bangor. So I sent him a message. I'm hoping he responds and maybe I can, convince him I'm not a psycho and I'd like to do lunch with a cast member of Star Trek.
Get him as a guest on the morning show.
He can
join you there.
I don't know we could apply that to, but yeah, somebody from Star Trek on the morning show.
Just because. Yeah. You know, a lot of people, I know a lot of arguments. People like to complain about newer Star Trek being woke or whatever. My response.
That's what I was shaming them for.
My response to them: have you ever watched the show?
That's exactly what I shamed him for, and got the thumbs up
since episode 1.
Commander Riker.
Do you have the calendar there? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Birthdays today: Kathy Mueller, Denise Smith, Elaine Roche, and Prudence Barlocker. That's yesterday's.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, these names seem really familiar. That's because they said happy birthday.
Today's the 24th of April, Scott.
Okay, I'm trying to. Oh, 24th. Okay. Jacob Chalmers, Chris Carpenter, Denny. Oh, that's a tough one.
Detmer?
Yeah, thank you. It looked like a T and an F in my eye. Amy Regan and Jesse Robbins. So Denny Defner. All right. Is that an M or an N?
I think it's D. It's nothing against your name. It's just these letters are little bitty, teeny tiny gray letters. It's really, really hard to see them, especially when the room here is half in the dark.
You can pay me back and try to pronounce Schloffman. All right, Chuck. Do we have anything else? Don't forget our stuff's still online for Chihuahua's Got Talent. Yes. KCHW.org or Northern Lights publicradio.com. Get all signed up. And do you want to play our new outro for anybody that missed some of our new songs today?
Yeah, really quick, though. I do want to talk just for a second. I know we're running late, but about Chihuahua's Got Talent. We still have spots open for auditions. They have been rolling in pretty regularly the last few days, especially. We're getting sort of that last-minute push. So, yeah, those forms are available at kchw.org. You can go to our KCHW Radio Facebook page. Your kids in the schools have all been given the information, I've been told. Yeah, so we have lots of spots available. The auditions are May 3rd, May 10th. There are forms. On that form, you can fill out the time slot you want. If you go to the Give Butter site, it also forwards you to a calendar where you can pick a 20-minute time slot to come in and audition. The final show, May 24th. And I would like to give a huge thank you to the sponsors that have signed on so far. We, of course, have the Chihuahua Independent. We have Chihuahua Flooring. New Beam just signed on as one of our spotlight sponsors. So thank you for that.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Gene and Sharon and Gino Ludwig, of course, sponsored the event. And I'm hoping to add a bunch more names to that in the next few days when I hear back from some folks. So.
Yeah, realize that money is going to support the arts in Chihuahua and prize money for the contestants. If you buy a table, we will take the ticket fees out of there, but then the rest of the money going into the prize pool. So you're helping out the prize winners and the arts in Chihuahua, and it's a great community event, and it brings us all together. It's awesome.
And Richmond Logging. Rich.
Oh, nice.
I can't even speak there. Richmond Logging. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it.
Big round of applause for all those sponsors. Yeah. That's awesome. All right. Anything else, Chuck?
No, that about does it. I'm about to lose my voice, Scott.
All right. Well, then I'll close it out. Thank you all for tuning here. Tomorrow, you've got Chuck, Paula, and Craig on your morning show. And tonight, we got some great shows. Don't forget, every night at 6, different genres of music. I believe tonight we start off with Out of the Woods, and we've got Kelton the Twist.
Yeah.
And our great Unplugged show.
Acoustic Cafe from 9 to 11.
Yeah. All coming up tonight. And that fun starts at 6 o'clock. Other than that, we want you having a great day. Keep on listening to KCHW 102.7. Here's our new outro.
Coffee's brewed. The birds have sung. It's time to get off your butt and get something done. We're sorry to go, but tomorrow's probably another show. We think you'll agree we should all keep working for
everybody.
Got your favorite joke.
You know I wrote the lyrics, right?
Yo, yes, I know that. I appreciate that. Lyrics by Scott Schloffman.
Morning crew. We're sorry to go, but tomorrow's probably another show. We think you'll agree we should all keep working for free. Got your favorite jokes and stories too. It's your KCHW